but rather at a London hospital.
Even though Meghan had let it be known she wanted a home birth, it was probably very realistic that her first child at 37, it was going to be born in hospital.
The certificate lists the private luxury port.
Congratulations. Thank you. Can I get you both to look into the camera here?
The royal family is at the center of a storm like never before. Secret evidence, explosive allegations, and a fight for the truth that could alter the monarchy forever. With the palace preparing to reveal shocking proof, will Meghan and Harry's emotional pleas be enough to protect their legacy, or will their world crumble under the weight of scandal? Get ready, because the story everyone's talking about is about to take an unpredictable turn. The royal family has a secret weapon in its arsenal, and it's a bombshell that could silence all doubters. Sources inside the palace have revealed that they've been quietly assembling what insiders are now calling the final proof strategy. This isn't just a simple defense, it's a meticulously crafted dossier of irrefutable evidence. Hospital records, official birth timestamps, physician statements, and even thermal imaging from security cameras. This is the kind of proof that courts would envy and conspiracies fear. But here's the catch.
At the time, Archie Mountbatten Windsor was born May 6, 2019. And this was surrounded by controversy, largely to the unconventional decisions Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
It's all ready to be released, but only at the right moment. The question on everyone's mind is, when will the palace strike? With DL already making waves in the media, insiders believe the palace will act within 48 hours, either to preemptively drop the documents or respond after her next big move. The stakes couldn't be higher. If they wait too long, rumors will only grow stronger. If they act too fast, they risk facing a public backlash that could stir even more doubts about their motives. The palace's play is brutal in its simplicity. Release the proof, shut down the conspiracy, and restore the monarchy's credibility. But there's a risk. Every document, every timestamp, every image could be scrutinized by conspiracy theorists and media outlets. What if the evidence is seen as staged? Or worse, what if it's not enough? In a world where every pixel can be dissected and every word analyzed, the palace must tread carefully. This high-stakes game is just getting started. While the palace is preparing its calculated strike, Meghan and Harry are gearing up for a different kind of battle, one that's deeply personal. Rumors suggest that Meghan is working on a raw, emotional statement, something unscripted and unfiltered. She wants the world to know, I birthed your children, I love them, I'm not hiding anything. But here's the catch. While this could humanize her, it risks coming across as desperate damage control. After all, why wait until now to make such a statement? Behind closed doors, Meghan's team is reportedly scrambling to frame this narrative before it gets out of hand. They're crafting a message that positions her not as a victim, but as a mother fiercely defending her family's truth. Yet, it's a double-edged sword. While it may strengthen her image for some, it could make her look like she's scrambling to cover up what's been left unsaid for so long. Harry, meanwhile, is reportedly writing his own note, not about paternity, but about trust. He wants to convey to the public that he believes in his children and will do whatever it takes to protect their story. But does that imply doubt? Does admitting that he believes in his children also suggest that he's had doubts all along? As the Sussexes craft their responses, they find themselves stuck between wanting to humanize their situation and needing to defend their legacy. The clock is ticking, and each new twist makes their public response more and more critical. The pressure is mounting from all sides, and with each new piece of evidence, the stakes get higher. Will their emotional plea win back public support, or will it open the door to even more questions and doubts about their story? The world is waiting for them to make their move, and every second counts. As the royal drama unfolds, social media has erupted, turning every tweet, post, and hashtag into a battlefield for public opinion. The royal family's secretive approach has only fueled speculation, with people dissecting every scrap of information, whether it's a blurry photo, a timestamp, or even a loose piece of fabric in a dress. The internet is abuzz with debates. Did Meghan really give birth? Is there a hidden truth behind the palace's silence? Meghan's every move is scrutinized, from the way she stands in photos to the casual gestures that might suggest more than they seem. Clips of her modeling a loose cape are circulating, with some online users claiming she's covering up a non-existent baby bump. Then, there are the side-by-side comparisons of old photos, some showing what appear to be stillborn baby bumps, others of her looking too polished for a woman who had just given birth. These viral memes only intensify the scrutiny, casting doubt on the authenticity of her pregnancy. Meanwhile, DL's accusations are going viral too, and the backlash against the Sussexes is growing. Threads on Twitter and posts on Instagram break down every tiny detail, with users questioning everything from the layout of the hospital room to the timestamps on the birth certificates. Theories are flying. Did the royal family fake the whole thing? Did they try to pull off the greatest deception in modern history? The internet is a hotbed of speculation, and it's only getting hotter. For the Sussexes, this social media firestorm could be their biggest challenge yet. The more they try to explain, the more questions arise. Every public appearance, every statement, and every video clip is met with a tidal wave of doubt. Their opponents in the media are having a field day, while their supporters are fighting just as hard to defend them. As the frenzy deepens, it becomes clear, this is more than just a royal scandal. It's a global conversation, and social media has become the proving ground for who will control the narrative. As the battle rages on in the court of public opinion, the legal implications are rapidly escalating. Behind closed doors, both the Sussexes and the palace are preparing for a high-stakes legal showdown. DL's legal team is pushing hard, demanding recognition as the biological mother of Archie and Lilibet. They're not just questioning the legitimacy of the births, they're positioning themselves for a potential custody battle that could rock the monarchy's foundation. If DL's claims hold any weight, it could open a Pandora's box of legal battles, with massive consequences for the royal family. On the other side, the palace is scrambling to protect the monarchy's image and legacy. Legal teams are reviewing documents, cross-checking timelines, and preparing to release official records to validate the royal births. But here's the challenge. Every legal document, every report is being closely analyzed by experts and conspiracy theorists alike. Even the most airtight records could be challenged, with critics suggesting that the palace could be manipulating evidence to maintain control. In the world of royal politics, even the smallest misstep could have catastrophic consequences. The stakes are not just about proving who gave birth, they extend far beyond that. Legal experts are diving deep into royal succession laws, questioning whether a child born under such contentious circumstances could retain their royal titles. If Archie and Lilibet's legitimacy is questioned in the public eye, could their place in the line of succession be at risk? These are not hypothetical concerns. They have the potential to reshape the royal family's future. As both sides prepare for the inevitable courtroom battle, one thing is certain. The legal implications of this drama are only just beginning. Every legal argument, every piece of evidence will be pored over in detail. The question remains, can the palace's legal strategy survive the intense scrutiny of the world, or will DL's claims shake the very foundation of the monarchy's legitimacy? The outcome of this legal battle could change the future of the royal family forever. With the pressure mounting and the stakes higher than ever, the palace is preparing for its most decisive move, the release of undeniable proof. Insiders say the palace has compiled a foolproof dossier, one that could end the debate once and for all. They've gathered every shred of documentation available: hospital admission records, signed birth certificates, birthroom codes, and even security footage that shows Archie and Lilibet being handed over to Meghan after their births. This evidence, meticulously collected and carefully curated, is set to be released quietly, with no grand press conference or public spectacle. It's the kind of move that could obliterate the conspiracy theories once and for all. However, this counterattack is a double-edged sword. While the evidence may silence the doubters, it comes with its own risks. The palace is fully aware that every single document, every timestamp, and every image will be dissected under a microscope. Social media is already rife with rumors. Could the images be altered? Could the timestamps have been manipulated? The palace is prepared for the backlash, but the risk is high. If even a single detail is this question, it could fuel even more conspiracy theories and throw the entire narrative into chaos. Some insiders believe the palace might leak the evidence in stages, releasing small pieces of information over time to keep the momentum going. This way, they can maintain control of the narrative while still addressing the claims head-on. Others argue that a full, direct release might be the best option, blow the scandal out of the water with one swift move. Regardless of the strategy, the timing of this release will be critical. If it's released too early, it may seem like a defensive play. If it's released too late, the palace risks losing control of the story completely. But one thing is clear, the palace is taking this battle seriously. It's not just about proving Meghan gave birth, it's about defending the monarchy's legacy and showing the world that truth, not rumors, will ultimately prevail. The next 48 hours could make or break the royal family's reputation, and the pressure is building to release the proof that could either silence the critics or backfire spectacularly. As the battle over Archie and Lilibet's births rages on, the most vulnerable in this royal drama remain the children themselves. While the palace and the Sussexes both scramble to defend their stories, the children's identities are now being debated on a global stage. The accusations against the Sussexes are growing more severe, with DL claiming she was never allowed to meet the children after their births. If true, this would transform the debate from mere paternity to something much darker, kidnapping-level allegations. This is the tipping point, the moment where the conversation shifts from birth certificates and legal battles to accusations of neglect and concealment. Imagine the headlines. Mother claims she never saw her children after they were born. Such allegations, if proven even remotely true, could be catastrophic, not just for the Sussexes but for the entire royal family. It's no longer just about questions of biology, it's about the safety and well-being of two young children whose every move is being scrutinized. In response, the Sussexes are reportedly doing everything they can to protect their children's privacy, while also navigating the media frenzy. Behind closed doors, their team is preparing for a complete shift in narrative. The idea is to showcase moments of genuine family bonding, real, unmediated moments that show Harry and Meghan's love and connection with their children. The hope is that by sharing these candid personal moments, they can shift the narrative from one of suspicion to one of warmth and authenticity. However, the tension is palpable. Every step they take is under the microscope, and the more they try to protect their children, the more questions arise. The palace, for its part, is prepared to release selective evidence that might address some of these concerns. Security footage showing the children being handed over to Meghan at the hospital, for example. But will that be enough to silence the critics? Can the Sussexes protect their children's innocence while defending their own credibility? The struggle to shield the children from this public scrutiny is at the heart of this crisis. The world is watching, waiting to see how far the Sussexes are willing to go to protect their children's privacy. In the end, it may not be the royal titles or the legal documents that matter most. It may be the very human need to preserve the innocence of two children caught in the crossfire of an international scandal. Will they be able to shield their family from further harm, or is the damage already done? The royal drama is reaching its boiling point. The palace's carefully calculated moves are set to collide head-on with the Sussexes' personal defense of their family's narrative. As the 48-hour deadline approaches, it's clear that this isn't just a battle over birth certificates or royal titles. This is a fight for the Sussexes' legacy, and possibly the future of the monarchy itself. Behind the scenes, the palace is preparing for its final move. Sources say the evidence will be quietly posted on the royal family's official website. Hospital records, time-stamped logs, signed birth certificates, even security footage. No speeches, no grand announcements, just a quiet, undeniable release of proof that could permanently silence the critics. It's a surgical strike meant to restore the monarchy's credibility and put an end to the swirling rumors once and for all. But this move is risky. The world is watching, and the pressure on the palace to get it right is immense. Any misstep, any hint of a cover-up could backfire. Some insiders worry that the palace's quiet release of evidence could come off as evasive, too little, too late. Meanwhile, social media and the public will be quick to dissect and analyze every detail. Could this release, instead of quieting the storm, fan the flames even higher? On the Sussexes' side, there's a sense of urgency too. Meghan and Harry are preparing for the inevitable fallout. While the palace releases their proof, they are readying their emotional response. Meghan's personal statement, Harry's pledge of trust in their children, and their attempt to humanize the situation. Yet, there's a risk that these heartfelt pleas will not be enough to overcome the legal and public scrutiny. Critics are already calling it a last-ditch effort to win back public favor, but many wonder if it's too little, too late. The final showdown is not just about who has the best proof. It's about who can control the narrative. Will the palace's meticulous evidence silence the critics once and for all, or will the Sussexes' emotional appeals sway public opinion? The next few days will determine the course of this royal drama. The stakes are higher than ever, and the world is watching to see who will come out on top. As the dust settles from the royal family's bombshell release, the true impact of the events begins to take shape. The world is now left to process the overwhelming wave of evidence that has flooded public consciousness. The palace's meticulously crafted documents are now in the hands of the media, and the questions are more complex than ever. While some are satisfied with the proof, others remain unconvinced, claiming that even the most irrefutable evidence can be manipulated in today's digital age. The internet is still ablaze, with endless debates over the validity of the documents and the authenticity of the Sussexes' narrative. The Sussexes, meanwhile, find themselves in a precarious position. Meghan's raw emotional statement and Harry's declaration of trust have made their mark on some, but others see it as an attempt to reclaim control over a story that spiraled out of their hands. Their supporters rally behind them, but there are still plenty of skeptics who believe this is all part of a well-executed PR stunt. With every statement, every image, every emotional plea, the stakes rise, and the backlash threatens to overpower their defense. What happens next? The public's reaction will determine the future of the Sussex brand. If they manage to regain public trust, they could emerge from this scandal with their narrative intact, albeit bruised. But if the allegations continue to grow, the damage to their reputation could be irreparable. The monarchy, on the other hand, might have temporarily regained control of the narrative, but the long-term effects of this crisis are still unknown. The Sussexes' actions in the coming weeks could either heal the rift or drive an even deeper wedge between them and the royal family. As for the children, their place in the royal story remains uncertain. Archie and Lilibet, once symbols of unity for the Sussexes, have now become the epicenter of a global conversation about legitimacy, trust, and the very nature of family. Will they be protected from the fallout, or will their future be shaped by the world's incessant gaze? In the end, this isn't just about royal births. It's about legacy, truth, and the battle for control in a world where every move is watched. The future of the monarchy, the Sussexes, and their children now depends on how the story unfolds from here. With every new development, the stakes grow higher, and the ultimate question remains: will proof of birth define the Sussexes' legacy, or will love and family prevail as their true legacy in the eyes of the public? As the dust settles and the final pieces of evidence are revealed, the royal battle reaches its conclusion, but the story is far from over. The world has witnessed a public showdown that will be etched in history, as the monarchy and the Sussexes face off in a fight not just for truth, but for control over their narrative. With the palace's documents released and Meghan and Harry's emotional statements made, the real question now is, what will the public believe? For the Sussexes, the damage may have already been done. Their heartfelt pleas, their desire to humanize themselves, and their struggle to protect their children may not be enough to overcome the tidal wave of doubt that has surged against them. Will they find a way to reclaim their place in the hearts of their supporters, or will the weight of the controversy prove too much to bear? The monarchy, for its part, has shown its hand. The proof may have silenced the most vocal critics, but it has also opened the door to new questions, new challenges, and new divisions. For a family that has spent centuries crafting its image, the cracks have now been exposed, and the world is watching to see how they respond in the future. But beyond the headlines, beyond the lawyers and documents, there's a more profound question at the heart of this saga. What defines a family? Is it the blood that runs through your veins, or the love, trust, and care that binds you together? The Sussexes' struggle is not just about royal titles and legitimacy. It's about the fragile nature of identity, family, and the constant battle between truth and perception. As the media frenzy winds down, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. The fallout from this royal drama will continue to ripple through the media, the palace, and the public for years to come. The ultimate question remains: will truth, trust, or triumph define the legacy of the Sussexes? Or will this scandal be remembered as the beginning of the end for the monarchy's long-held grip on power? Only time will tell, but for now, the world watches, waiting for the next twist in this ongoing royal saga.